I got a little surprise. What is that? Well, first, beer.
Thank you. We actually have beer this time.
And I thought we were just going to end up talking about the backpacks and things like that, but looks like this is going to be the point of gear convo. Do you want to do the honors?
Sure. Let me pop this
So,
down real
all right,
quick.
people are probably wondering what the heck's going on. And honestly, episode number 2 of Beer Gear Podcast. And this time we have beer instead of bourbon, which is awesome. And yeah,
I'm still fine
so went to go get the beers upstairs, and literally this is the box that I found, which is freaking awesome. Coming in from Movo. I didn't know that I was going to be getting this, but I'm just, go ahead, please keep, I'll keep yapping. I'm really interested to see what is in here. But stay tuned, because Josh and I definitely want to also discuss some fanny pack travel bags that we both have, and have a little bit of a conversation about what we think of each. That was actually what today's episode was going to be centered around until, and I'm like excited because I have no idea what's in here.
Good. There we go.
Hopefully something that we can both give our opinions on when it comes to gear while drinking some beer. So it just kind of worked out. Dude, it worked out perfect that this came.
Just in time. All right.
All right, guys, you are seeing what we're seeing for the first time.
Here you go. You got quite a few things in here. You got a Creative Crew hat.
Okay, Creative Crew. I guess I'm a part of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what we got.
You are
here.
too if you're watching this. Creative Crew.
I think.
Oh,
yeah, another one.
It's my yes. It's the current mic that we're recording on, the VSM 7.
We could totally just set this one up and replace this if we
honestly,
really wanted to.
We probably could. But maybe. Well, do you want to do it and I'll keep talking? Or it doesn't even really matter. Here, I'll just open it up.
Yeah,
what else have we got in there?
You got another durable mini tripod.
Okay.
Very durable.
Sweet.
Oh,
I know what this is. This is their all right, I don't know the exact name of it, so I'm probably gonna butcher it, but it's like their iPhone kit. I'm pretty sure. Like, yep.
Wireless microphone system and a very, very probably cute and small LED.
I'll take it. I don't know how much I'll use it, but I know it's a part of the kit.
Slip.
Hey, there we go.
And then there's
what else have we got?
Surprises.
Oh, I know what it is. I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay, I guess I get to find out. Oh, guess what? It's a
Movo coffee mug.
That's actually sick.
Yeah, this is actually pretty dope. Thank you, guys. I'm not gonna give this one away. I'm keeping it because I'm gonna start using it. But definitely some of this gear I plan to give away.
You can send me a coffee mug too.
But dude, we're gonna have
coffee.
Keep an eye out because this will be review coming out here in the near future on the channel. But dude, what a treat! What a way to start the Beer and Gear second episode.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is, like, no shit, that was not on purpose.
Yeah,
dude, that's probably the funniest part. Is I had
perfect timing.
Yeah, but cheers, cheers.
Yep, I need to hang on. There we go. Boom.
Sorry, I had to take a sip. I was thirsty. All right, so Beer and Gear podcast number 2. Since last time I saw you, we shot some behind-the-scenes stuff, some photos, which was awesome. I know we talked.
I like that video. That came out really well.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, it's on the channel now, and it gives. I guess. Do you want to explain what it was kind of about, or what?
It's just like you just kind of explained like how we went from. We just did the basic headshot, and then we just kind of started talking, collaborating. You talked about your lights that you had, so we started messing with the setup here. I think we had the blue light, and then the red light was over here. Right now, you got the twin blue lights kind of going. And then we just tried some different shots and came out with some pretty dope photos, I think. Yeah, they're up on my Facebook, so.
Hey, and they're on my Instagram, up on Josh's Facebook, so definitely go check that out. And I think the whole point, like, it's nice to hear that you really enjoyed it, because I think my whole vibe was, 1, it was fun, and it was a quick, easy edit. And then 2, I just wanted to kind of get the point across to people that I just genuinely feel like a lot of times it took exactly what we did that day. Like, literally, no shit, all we knew was what we wanted to do. We didn't know how we were going to do it, but we did it. And then at the end I watched the video and I'm like, well, that's kind of cool.
I mean, that's kind of like the point. Like I think like I said, I had an interview recently for like a potential like job as an assistant and stuff like that. And that was like one of the things it's all about. It's like, one of the fun things about shooting sometimes is just collaborating, right?
Absolutely.
Sometimes you'll talk to someone like, and they'll just be like really into it. And it's just like, oh yeah, like let's try this over here, let's try this over there. It's like, okay, no, just keep feeding me the ideas and I'll shoot it.
Yeah, I think
I'll bring the technical expertise.
I think that was what was fun with that particular like setup too. Was I had one vision for the lights, just like hanging them one way, and you're like, dude, why don't we cross them up? It's like, duh, no brainer. But had you not been here, I don't know if I would have even considered that. So. And you know what?
That would look pretty cool with video too. If you had like a big enough space, like you could totally like get some. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you could totally get that kind of parallax effect with stuff and things like that. Like have like them cross behind someone.
Yeah, that'd actually be pretty dope.
8-foot tubings too.
Yeah.
So instead of the 4, you could do the 8s. Though that way it's like a full like cross behind someone.
You know what? Now that we're talking about the LED strips, I think we need to talk about these because I know that everyone can kind of see them. You can see them in this shot right here on the GoPro, and you can probably see them in Josh's camera shot right here. But these LED strip poles I got 6 of them for $50, and then I recently covered them with these tubes that you can see, and we've even got one back over here.
Yeah. The only reason the gels last time, like you just had like the gels like taped around them.
Yeah, so
and it still worked.
You can feel this one. I don't know if you want to like feel it real quick, but it's actually they came in the mail the other day, and I just cut them out and put them over that.
Nice.
And all it is just like these round plastic tubes, and then I just took some scissors and cut right through the middle of it.
Slide them on and off. Yep.
But yeah, I think that turned out well, and okay, the reason that I even want to talk about this type of gear is really because of how cheap it is and what we were able to do with it. I mean, I think it looks super pro, and like for $50, like what?
It's very, very stylized, and I know like you could use it for a lot of different things. So it's not just like with photos, but I've seen tons of different like, people do like edits, like maybe it's like a mountain bike edit or like a documentary or an interview. These lights work great for it. Music videos, especially, like people love using these lights, and if you get like you said, it was like six of them for $40 or something like that.
6
40,
of them.
50 bucks. I think I looked at them and they were like $50 last time.
I think it's $50.
Yeah.
They can all be daisy chained. The only thing I will say is you can't shoot slow motion with them, which I think is that the case with just about everything?
No, so okay, you need to check change your shutter speeds if that's the case, because like for example, like lights will actually flicker at like in the US at 60 hertz.
Okay.
So if you set your shutter speed to 1/60, you can usually get rid of the flicker. Whereas if you do it 1/50, which is a lot of people do, or 1/48, which is like your 180 shutter speed if you're shooting at like 24 frames, then you start to notice like flickering issues. So if you can just adjust your shutter speed just a bit to where it's like maybe a little bit higher, a little bit lower than 180,
you can get rid of it.
Yeah, you can kind of like get rid of it. Or one of the things I saw, and this was like more of a Peter McKinnon point, I think he did in one of his videos, was he did it where it's like you essentially will duplicate the frame and set it as like change the blending mode to like an overlay or something like that, and you just move it over one frame, and then that can kind of get rid of it. And at that point, you can just create a compound clip or something, and it's like so subtle that you won't really notice like any kind of like blur or messing up with like, the footage and stuff. But if you do it in camera, just know that like with these lights, like if they're running off of power, like just straight AC, I think it's AC power, then they're probably, it's either AC, I think it's AC, they're basically going to be running at about 60 hertz, or if in the UK it's 50 hertz.
Okay.
So you just need to adjust your shutter speed so that way it kind of tweaks it out.
Interesting. All right. Well, I know that we didn't plan on talking about the lights, but we just spent some time on it. But I do want to make our way to... all right. I did another video recently about this particular London Instinct bag, and you made a comment on my channel, which I really appreciate the comment. But I was making fun of this being a great bag. It is, by the way. Go check it out. Links in description below. But I don't like the fanny pack aspect of it, and I was making fun of it. And Josh,
I have a fanny pack. So yeah, this is the Evoc. They call it the Hip Pack Capture. This is a 7-liter, and basically I got this because I'm trying to go out and take photos while climbing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take it while, mountain biking and stuff like that. And a lot of times, like when you're doing activities, you don't want to be carrying
A massive bag.
Yeah, I got it. It's down there. But
Yeah.
yeah, you saw it last time. But yeah, a massive bag. So especially if it's very difficult to get on and off. Nice thing about a hip pack, especially say like you're climbing or something like that, stays on your back, and then whenever you're ready to shoot, you swing it around. Open it up real quick, grab your camera,
Okay.
take some snapshots. You got a couple of spots for like lenses and things like that, and then you just pop it back in. You can like kind of change your lenses real quick while you're in there. And so I got that, and I basically have like a little hand strap so that way my camera doesn't fall.
Okay.
But yeah, very popular with like mountain biking too, because you don't like to always carry packs when mountain biking. It adds
Sure.
a lot more weight. So this keeps it with the fanny pack portion, or hip pack. It keeps it nice and like low,
Gotcha.
like weight wise. So it makes it still very comfortable and allows you to kind of feel like you can move around. You don't have a lot of weight on your shoulders or anything like that.
How much was that bag?
This was about $100.
Well worth the purchase.
Yes. Definitely pretty basic. It doesn't have a lot of like fancy features. Like I think this has a lot more storage.
Yeah, like all right. So just this is kind of why I wanted to even discuss this bag. Is when I brought it out to you. This bag goes for $160, and I've been pretty impressed with it. But I'm not gonna lie, at that price point, it kind of gave me a little bit of like. Well, I didn't pay for it, but it made me just think about it more. But here's my point: is that you saw it, and owning this one at $100, you saw this one. Can you maybe explain some things that they did differently with this one that you liked, and kind of?
So things that I like about this one, it does have a lot more storage.
Okay.
So you do have like in mine, like I have like the 3 basic compartments. Here, hold this for a second.
Yeah.
So like if you look at mine, I have like the 3 little compartments where I can, stow camera, couple lenses. I can fit this with my 1835 without the flower hood.
Yep.
And then all it has is this basic little spot for like memory cards. I think I can put some in there, and then I can put like filters or lens caps in there. But other than that, I really don't have like a spot for my phone.
Sure.
It does have kind of like this one does a little spot for a tripod.
On the bottom.
Yeah, so with this one, like down here, you have a little spot where these straps come out for a rain cover. And then it also has like the straps that you can take out and attach a little tripod with.
Okay.
So if I was say like going on a climb where it's like I wanted something where I might want to go up and take some like landscape shots or something like that, or do like a long exposure, then I could easily kind of take it up there. So very basic. Lightweight, and then of course for this one it's designed more for activities, so it has like the ventilation here where it's like
I do like that because this is just fabric.
So like with this, like if that's sitting on your back for a while, for what this bag is designed for, I think it's really not designed as an active wear bag, whereas this one is
right?
This is definitely more a street bag. Like you look at the style, the material it's made out of versus the material this one is, like this is definitely like they're both weatherproof. This is definitely more of like kind of like a nylon. I think it's like kind of like ripstop almost.
Yeah.
And then it has like little pouches here where you can put like other things like food, snacks, filters, tools, whatever you need like for your activity.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so this is definitely more like Evoc is definitely more of an outdoor company. They make a lot of cycling products. They make like a lot of backpacking and camping products and stuff like that. So,
but a good buy, right?
Very good buy. I've already taken it on like a couple climbs, and then of course I take it to the gym just to kind of practice using it, especially with like lead climbing and even a little bit of top roping. Hopefully, like I think I got like a little thing going on tomorrow with gear setting, so I'm hoping to get a few more photos with this tomorrow, and then of course in future things. But yeah, for this, the one thing I wasn't too to keep going kind of with it, like again, you have lots of storage with this one. So you got like a little spot here for like a tablet or your phone, filters and whatever else you want to put in here, memory cards. So you do have quite a bit of storage. Even on even on your little dividers here, you have like little pockets.
So they thought it through.
They definitely thought a lot through. So if you wanted to,
good for you guys.
Yeah.
So
at the 100, like for the quality like that, it feels like $160. Yeah, it's up there, but I'd say like for depending on what you're using on, like it's definitely probably designed more as like you said, it's like a city bag,
Yeah.
something you want to carry over your hip or something. I wouldn't use this as a fanny pack again for those two reasons, that even if you're like say out on a hot day or something like that, like there's really no separation between you and the bag, which kind of makes it to where it's like you're probably going to get a little bit back sweat on there. And the other thing is that if they redesign this or something, I would definitely do the strap with a buckle, like just add a different strap with a buckle, because like when you take these out and you kind of set up as a fanny pack, like you can put it on, but it's like it's so much better just to have something you can just like buckle around versus like having to mess with like hooks and things, because these hooks are great and heavy duty, don't get me wrong, but it's like they don't, especially with that little like kind of lip there, it's like they don't always come off as easily as you want. So you might be sitting there like trying to sit down at the dinner table or something like that, and it's just so those would be my two main things. Is obviously like that may not be as bad on like say like during the colder seasons, like maybe like early spring, late fall, winter, but mainly like the strap and stuff like that. But
here's what I'll say, I'm going to use the heck out of it. Because
you say you're going to use it like when you're going out like with your wife and stuff, and you don't want to carry too much stuff with you.
That's exactly something quick, something that makes me travel light on purpose. Because I mean, I think you would probably agree with this. Like anybody that does this for a living, or even on just a professional scale, typically you overpack, right? Because you're just like, oh, I need this lens, or I need this, or I need this drone. Or...
Yeah, you remember my big pack that I used to carry.
Oh god, don't even get me started.
Like I don't know if we ever have any video or anything of that, or if I have any video of that, but it's like had a big camera bag insert, and I carried everything with me because I was just like, oh, it's like, what if I need this or what if I need that? And it's like over the year, like this year was just like, okay, I need to like shrink down, so I went down to like the hiker bag because I needed something that was going to be solid, and I usually like not shuffle around much, but a whole lot, but also be lightweight. So.
No, I think that's the full intention with this, is just to to be honest with you, you'll see it probably in some of the YouTube videos coming out here pretty soon, where I'm just using it to carry a camera, carry probably a lot of this gear that I have to use out. Well, not this, but using some of this gear. And
I like the mini light in here, though. I'll pop this open real quick because this looks interesting.
Well, let's test it out then. But yeah, I mean, this kind of bag's gonna be perfect for someone like myself, especially for like shooting vlog stuff.
Keep these.
Do
you ever keep those?
No,
yes.
Why?
So the little silica gels. So if you ever like travel a lot, stuff like that, like those are basically designed to absorb moisture.
Yeah.
So like I carry a ton of those. So like anytime you go somewhere, you can just like throw one in one of your bag. That way, if like a little bit of moisture or something gets in there, it won't mess with like your equipment or anything.
Really?
So yeah, keep those handy because they're
there's a little
useful.
gear and beer gear hack. There you go. Stay fresh. Silica it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm interested with that little bitty light. It's cute. I'm not.
I need to pop it up on your phone.
Look, anything is better than nothing. Wow.
It's actually, it's decent, bright. I don't think I have it. So it's at low. That's at low mode right now, I think.
Really?
So brightest. That's bright. That's actually bright.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's dual color. Yeah, I'm seeing spots.
Yeah, I am too. All right, well that's gonna. Dude. I'm gonna have to do my review on it and then let you goof around with it if you want.
I'm trying to see because it looks like there's, unless it's just stays in bicolor, because it looks like there's two different colored lights on there, but there's no way to really change between them. So I guess they just both kind of
I'm sure it's pretty on. It's probably just the different high, medium, and low.
Yeah,
but that's to be expected,
like I said,
right?
like it's like if you look at the angle, like you have the warmer lights, right? So they're kind of a checker pattern, like the more orange lights. Those are typically your warm lights. So when you get a lot of the LED panel lights and stuff, like they're usually like bicolored, or even like the RGBW ones have like a bicolor setting, and then the RGB lights, and that's so that way you can adjust it to be either cooler or warmer. And that's when I was like, okay, this doesn't have like a wheel or anything to move between it. So, check the manual. We'll see.
All right.
This is nifty. I like this little guy.
So we're roughly 20 minutes in. We've talked about our fair share of gear. So one thing I'd love to like kind of wrap the show up with would be talking about gear, but more so also some projects you got coming up, and yeah, like what's going on. I know you mentioned tomorrow. Do you have what is tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah, but do you have some big thing you're filming or something
Oh
like that?
yeah, no. So it's like basically I got hit up. I got a couple groups and stuff. Like I put out to a bunch of people. I was like, hey, trying to go out and do some photo, video, documenting
Yep.
and stuff like that. So if anyone's got any adventures and stuff like that, I'm trying to get out to stuff. And people sent things for like ice climbing and like some skiing and stuff, which a lot of that stuff I don't have gear for. So
Sure.
I'm trying to figure that all out. But tomorrow, like someone put up a post like in the group and they just like tagged me in a comment. So like the dude that was doing it, so I guess he knew I had the camera.
Sure.
So he was just like, hey, you interested in coming out? And I guess we're going out to Great Falls to I think it's putting like setting up gear or something like that. I don't know if they were talking like actually like the little like gear you put into cracks and things like that so you
Okay.
can climb, or if it's just setting up gear up top. But dude's bringing out a bunch of gear, so I'm just gonna go out and take a bunch of photos.
I gotcha.
And then, because like I said, that's kind of where my big focus is right now, is get as many photos as I can. And then I'm hoping to, at some point, like figure out one of these trips where I can go out and like actually do like a little mini documentary. So that's kind
Nice.
of what I want to figure out, is just going out and just like filming something and just doing like a documentary like
Yeah.
about the trip or something. Get some interviews from people about like
Smart.
maybe why they like it, or what's really like what kind of drives the passion and things like that.
Totally.
Just totally get into it. So that's kind of what I'm working towards. But yeah, tomorrow's just kind of like simple, get up there around like I think 9, and then we're gonna hike into wherever we're climbing,
Okay.
and then be done by like 3 o'clock. So
That's
if I
not
can get
bad.
up there, get on a rope, and just get some pictures, I'll be good to go.
Good stuff. Yeah, I think for the rest of the week or weekend, geez, woof, I'm just gonna be working on some edits for YouTube. I've got some phone calls or some emails that I'm gonna be working on and hitting up people on the DMs. Probably similar to you. That's kind of how I've been reaching out to get contacts and to get work. And yeah, I think it's just
Need to pick your
more.
brain about like what you're sending and stuff, so that way I can start
Oh, let's talk
figuring
about
it
it.
out. Yeah.
What do you want to know?
I guess just like the one thing like is always like, I guess how you approach it and like how you really ask, because it's always like you go to someone and be like, hey,
Yeah.
by the way, I do photo and video. Would you totally like something? Or
It's
a
okay. Well,
lot
here
screams a lot like,
here's
hey, hire me.
okay. I'm gonna use Movo for example.
Yeah.
Years ago, I bought one of their microphones, and I didn't know anything about the company. I just bought whatever was rated well, and it was for a good price. So I bought it, used it, loved the product, and typically the way I reach out to people, if it was a product or a company like Movo would be, if I have their product, I usually make a product like example video, try to make it look nice and shiny. But also before I even make my own personal video, I go to see what else is out there before, so that I at least know that I'm entering some kind of like, this is gonna be a bad example. I'm entering a game that I can actually play in, because if I do my research and like something is just like it's just ridiculously good, then I probably take my attention elsewhere. So your question was, how do I particularly reach out to people? Well, I try to be as casual as possible, which I think has kicked me in the butt but also helped me. So I try to be as much of myself as possible. And I think that being yourself is actually going to result in two things. One, if they decline you, that's fine, right? And it might be good that they decline you, because that might not be the type of person you want to work with. So your approach, you being authentic of who you were, while you got rejected, you might have gotten rejected for something that actually did you a favor.
Yeah.
So I guess when I reach out to people, a lot of times it is ridiculously short and sweet, and typically it's all free work.
Yeah.
And
get
like,
a hold of gear
man,
and
we
stuff
can,
like that.
yeah, well, not even for gear. It would even be just like recently I did a hunt for someone, and I think some people have maybe seen it on the channel, and like, yes, it was through a family member, but the whole intention was to do it for free, to get to try to impress that person, but also to get another portfolio piece, and also just to, yeah, really just to shoot something and do something.
Project. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like filling a void. And I also did my research on the front end and knew that. So anyways, go out there, film, and then basically I normally, like I said, I delivered the product
Yeah.
to them and said, hey guys, here's what I came up with. And when I was shooting, I made no kind of like comments about being really good or really bad. It was more just like, yeah, I'm here to have fun, da 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 da. I really hope you like what I make, you know, kind of like underselling myself. So that then when they saw the deliverable, it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
That guy was for reals. And so that's kind of my approach with people. I'm trying to think of someone I recently reached out to. I've been rejected a lot, and it sucks. Like, for anyone out there, like, you are going to get rejected so many times, it's going to be like, you're going to think you just suck.
Got to get through the nose to get the yeses.
Yes, exactly. So, like, for all the yeses, you're going to probably get what? Probably 30 times as many no's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually would just recommend being super short, being super sweet. I actually reached out to a wedding group yesterday or the other day, and my message was so short that all they responded was like, please portfolio, please, like basically saying you gotta have to give us more, because it was just like literally, hey, I love to do weddings, you know, da 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 da, here's my link, and the guy just wasn't having it. So I would say that's where I was pretty lazy. But look, man, it's the days of the internet, and so like to anyone out there, like, if you technically don't know these people and you're not actually going to see them, like, is it really that bad if you get rejected by them? And I'm saying this like this is easy. I mean, like, even if Movo was just like, you suck, your videos suck, I'd probably like, ugh, I'm a failure, you know? So I think just the best
videos don't suck.
Yeah, well, but it's taken years. It's literally taken years, man. I mean,
practice.
It is. And sorry we've gone off on a different rangetant, but like, going on the practice thing, I mean,
gear is not always, you know, the things in your camera bag. You know, tools in the toolbox can be literally just about anything. So,
oh yeah,
you know, having
look at this setup.
Books, having the right books or the right studying materials or reading materials or research materials to actually be able to like learn how to do things, because a lot of times it's do, but if you have no idea what to do, sometimes it helps to sit there and be like, okay, well, how have other people done this and succeeded?
Yep.
You know, so having the right research materials, you know, sometimes even just building confidence, you know, that's a tool in the toolbox.
Yeah.
You know, so gear can be usually, you know, again, the stuff in your camera bag, but, you know, it's also what, you know, it could be what's in your portfolio. It could be like what you can actually bring to the table.
Sure.
What you can do to improve yourself. So,
yeah. And I mean, you like being proud of your work is something that like takes a lot of time, I think, for a lot of people. But like, my goal, and I think one of the best philosophies that I followed in the beginning when I royally sucked, was just like, I had a mentor that was like, every video you make, just do one thing better each time. And then it's like, after you've done like 150 of them, well, it has to be 150 times better than the original one you started with. And like, it might seem silly, but like, now I look back at it like 6-7 years ago from starting all this junk, and it's like, holy crap, like 1,000 videos later, and it's like, I think I can get paid to do this now. So there's hope. You just have to make 1,000 videos. No, I mean, everyone's on their own trajectory, right? The other thing too, I think, is
they say it takes like 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours, yeah. And I mean, it can be argued that,
and you don't necessarily have to master something. You just have to be good enough at it to actually make it work for you.
You know, it's funny you say that, because like my dad used to always say, like, people sometimes focus too much on being like the biggest fish in the pond, when it's like, you can be the biggest fish in the little guppy pond too, and that's fine. Like, you'll live a very happy life, and you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, I think sometimes everyone wants to have like the biggest, baddest video, and it's like, I don't know, you know, whatever. I mean, the other thing I would say too, in regards to reaching out to people, is don't be afraid to copy people. I mean, they say R&D, you know, research and development, and like, I've heard the term rob and duplicate.
Yep.
So literally whatever you like. And I think this is what I've been doing recently over the past few years, and why I finally kind of hit my stride, is I found some things that I liked. I found creators that I liked. I watched them. I consumed them ridiculously.
Yeah.
Duplicated what they were doing, and then come to find out, well, you're not them, so you're never going to do it exactly like they did. And then you kind of start to find your own style within that. You know, and that would be the same with reaching out to people. You're gonna, I know I'm speaking to you, but I'm speaking to everyone. You're gonna figure your own way out, and you're also gonna figure out the people that you really want to do business with, people you don't, and like, I think sometimes, I would just say I have found out very quickly over the past few years, there's several types of people and types of projects I just don't even want to dabble with anymore, and so, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it's a lot of it, especially if you're looking for like work on the small scale from individual people. It's usually like it's the cold calling aspect. Is like because you never know how to, because it's always the sales pitch, right?
Yep.
Like even if you go in there, it's just like you don't know who the person is. You've never met like upfront in person. 100% easy. That's actually
Yeah.
like even how I've gotten like even if it's
I
not
think
paid.
that's the best way.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
person I like. That's why like
Oh,
so
yeah.
like my whole plan this year, like I said, like trying to get out, trying to travel more. There's a bunch of expos out west I'm trying to get to,
Yep.
and that's the whole thing. It's like, that's why research. Everyone says like, try not to email or DM.
Sure.
If you can get on the phone, get on the phone. But the best way to do is always just be in person, because then you can sit there, you can talk. If you know the product and stuff like that, you start researching like the things you want to do. You can get in front of people, or if
Yeah.
you meet someone who sit there says like, oh, I like doing this stuff, like, or I have this event going on. Oh, you have a photographer or anything for it?
Yeah.
And it's usually that question of, no, we don't. It's like, well, hey, that's what I do. So if you need something, hit me up, and you can show them your work in person, and it creates a personal connection versus like, hey, I bought one of your products. I think it's really cool. Here's a video.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Well, funny story. I'll try to make it pretty quick. I recently did an in-person, like, just an ask, and it was at my gym. Well, try asking somebody to do business with you with a mask on. That was... I don't want to go there, but it was just tough.
Yeah.
Because regardless of where you
facial
stand...
expression.
Well, yeah, it was hard. Like, so this guy can't figure out who I am, because, like, he can see... I had a hat on because I was actually going into the gym to work out. But it was just so hard because, to me... I think, like, you can really pick up and read a situation by body language. Like, if you're going to get it kind of or not. And, like, the whole mask thing threw me for a curveball because he was super nice and everything like that. But I kind of felt bad because even when I entered, he didn't have his on. I had mine. He has to throw it on. But that being said, you mentioned the DMs, how you said that you probably would stay away from it. And I want to actually agree with you because I only use that more so to get the number and to just gauge the interest immediately. And then I would agree with you. At that point, they need to hear my voice. And then hopefully, if they are hearing my voice, then the next step is seeing my face or, like you said, being in person. Because I think to anyone out there, if you're starting a business or you're currently doing what we're doing, or I don't know, you just like to do this kind of stuff for fun.
Zoom. There's Zoom now.
Zoom, but man, face to face, there's just something about, because you get a firm answer when you're in person. And whether it's yes or no, it's just right then and there. And typically, you leave knowing what the answer is. And right now, man, Zoom's great, but you can I could fudge a Zoom if I wanted.
Current situation in the world, there's some people that might be more comfortable with Zoom. So, like, again, tool in the toolbox.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like if someone's like, hey, like, I'm not comfortable meeting because of like the whole COVID thing and something like that. So you talk over Zoom, be like, okay, like then you can start talking like, okay, well, we can practice like social distancing and all this other stuff and whatnot. So, if worst case you can't do anything else, I would totally be like, hey, let's meet up at Starbucks or something like that and talk it over.
I will say, if you have to do Zoom, I'm going to be doing a tutorial here pretty soon on it. There's a free app that will turn your iPhone into your webcam. That's pretty simple, and you can kind of see it in real time. And I'll be kind of like showing you guys how I would recommend actually using your iPhone, because a lot of us like to see ourselves. I'm going to encourage people to actually use their better camera of the two, walk you through it, the free process. And the reason that I bring that up, as you mentioned, Zoom calls, I think it's going to be an easy way to make yourself look more professional if you take a little bit of time to watch this tutorial. But Beer and Gear Podcast, episode number 2, man.
And I'm just about empty.
Oh, I am too. There, we'll pound it. But thank you guys. Episode number 2. Josh, thank you for joining me again.
By the way, Founders All Day IPA Session Ale. Good. Very good.
Yeah, this is an easy go-to beer. I actually drank so much of this I had to stop for a while because it was so cheap, and it was actually pretty good. And it had did it have more alcohol than a Bud Light?
Yeah, 4.7. It's not bad.
What's a Bud Light? 4.5? 4.7 maybe?
Roughly, they're usually like somewhere between 4.1, 4.5, I think.
Yeah.
So I know most IPAs I usually sometimes get are like up in the 7s and 8s. And
I was gonna bring those, but no, I was gonna bring those, but I knew we'd be talking for a while. I wanted to do other stuff, but
start slurring towards the end of it.
Episode number 3 will be coming next week. Unfortunately, it will not feature Josh I have a special guest in mind, but we will be having you back in the near future.
I'm down.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, guys. Peace.